Hi everyone, this is Kyle with kayDbait. I just finished making my last video. It was supposed to be on the differences and the ability and the strategies of debate, and it ended up going more onto Bill O'Reilly and the things that he does because he is such a good public speaker and debater. But what I need to do, and what I should have done in my last video, is step away from him and, while using him as an example, not focus on that. So what I'm going to do is talk about the different forms of debate and the different tactics you can use with it, and also the moral implications of those tactics. The basics of debate is to inform a third party and also the person you are speaking to, and most importantly, yourself. If you are not debating to understand the concept and you just feel you are right, that is not a debate, that is an argument. That is, I am right, you are wrong, shut up, leave me alone, I just want to hear myself talk. That is not a debate. That is sadly and very, very stressful that people do that so often and call it debate. And most of the time a debate is with an agenda. Political debates, you're trying to get viewers to agree with you, you're trying to become popular, you're trying to do all these things. A debate should not be used for that agenda. It should be used to inform a third party, the opponent, and yourself. And also, I don't like to consider them opponents. When you say, you are my opponent, you are saying, I am right, you are wrong, I am trying to win. And that is not what a debate is for. A debate is not to win. You lose if you don't learn. So it's not whether you beat them, it's whether you win, which is learning. So the concept of a debate is already misused by most of society. The media uses debate as a form of combat. They use it to say, well, this person made this point and won. This person made that point and lost. That is not a debate. That is mostly used as a subjective, who made a better argument, and I can see that as a very intellectual competition, but that's not really debate. That's more of a who was more persuasive. That should not be called debate. So call it something else. Call it word battle. Call it propaganda throwing. I don't care. But it's not debate. And that is an important distinction to make, and it's something that bothers me when I watch videos of so-and-so had a debate with this person, and you watch it as them yelling at each other. It's not accurate. It's not a fair representation of what it really means. And it's a lost meaning. It's that people have been using it incorrectly for so long that it's just become synonymous with something else. So I wanted to make that distinction right now. My belief in what debate is what I just said. It is to inform, it is to learn, and it is to progress. If it is not used for those reasons, it is not a debate in my book. And, well, if you disagree, let's talk about it. Call it what you want. I would call it a debate because I am trying to learn also. So, that aside, the tactics used in debate are numerous. You can attack the person, which is used very often with less informed and less skillful debaters. They will say, well, you smell funny, or you were raised in another country, what do you have to say about ours? Or just anything that doesn't make an informed comment, such as its sodium content, or it's made of iron, or it has had this effect on society, this percentage has changed, here's a graph. Those are that's data. Data can be used to make an argument. But if you're saying, well, you're fat, you're ugly, you're misinformed, you can say those things, but if you don't have fact to back up why it's relevant, if somebody's 300 pounds and you comment, you shouldn't be making health advice, that is a legitimate contextual argument, but still doesn't further the information. All you're doing is trying to make them look less credible. Credibility is important, but when you are attacking the person that is giving other people's data, then you are no longer relevant. I can be the most obese person or the ugliest person or have no hair, and I can give all of these little bits of information that I have legitimately learned from credible sources and have cited these credible sources, so that you attacking me is not relevant to my argument. And you must not use those kinds of arguments in a debate, because all they're doing is trying to remove credibility from somebody that doesn't necessarily matter as a credible source. Yes, it is important to be credible. It is important to not lie and be misinformed constantly, because people will stop believing you. But when your opponent does it for the sheer benefit of throwing smoke, then that is not a legitimate, fair tactic. It's very effective. It's very useful for people that don't know how to discuss and debate properly. But being good at something does not necessarily mean that you are being fair. And debate should be fair. Because whether or not you are right, you should not have to use underhanded tactics to win. Say you are arguing with a child. I don't want to eat this broccoli. Well, it's good for you. Like, well, how is it good for me? You have no idea why it's good for you, so you lie to them. No, don't do that. If you're trying, just look it up. Look at the benefits of it. And you can explain to them, and they'll learn, whether they know it or not. Oh, it has vitamin this, this, and this. It'll make it so I'll be better at sports. It'll make me live longer, blah, 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 blah. They may not care, but it's better than saying it'll give them special powers. Maybe it's not as effective and easy, but doing that in a debate with adults and other adults watching, you have to be informed. Being informed is the most important part. If you want to manipulate somebody into doing something, that's not a debate. That is manipulation. That is abusing your state right now of being watched, like my videos. If somebody's watching you and you start to lie to people so that they'll hey, this guy's cool, I want popular money, whatever your agenda is, that is not a debate. That is something separate, and that should not be used as that kind of context. If you call it a debate, treat it like a debate. Don't treat it like something else, because then you're changing it. And it bothers me, personally, when people do that. So, don't use that tactic. Do not attack the person. Do not attack the credibility of somebody that their credibility does not matter. Follow the data. Use the data to learn. If you personally think they're wrong, have data to support why you believe they are wrong. Not all data is clear. Argue about the clarity of their argument. Say that that information may not be interpreted correctly. There are so many different ways of being fair with putting credibility at different levels. I can say one thing, and you can say, well, that's not a fair assessment. That is not a fair... And you can argue it. You can have different levels of analysis. Over-analysis could be bad. But a lot of people would believe that if you spend most of your life studying a subject, you should probably know about it. And whether you do or not doesn't mean you're right. So it's just this large issue at why somebody does something, why they say something, that is so important and yet not relevant at the same time. So it's hard to talk about in these videos. So I'm going to make several videos in a row talking about the different aspects. This one's obviously going to be about attacking the other person. Don't attack the other person. It damages your reputation, it damages their reputation, and you're treating the people watching like fools. Because all they have to do is look up the information. If the most misinformed person is right, then they're still right. It doesn't matter if everything else they say is wrong. If you say that fact is wrong because they're always wrong, then now you're wrong. So, it's not about damaging the credibility of the other person. It's about learning. And given time, anyone can learn. Just look it up. So, that's going to be it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed my animation. So, take care. Peace.